Aloha and Shabbat Shalom. We are in the zone here and ready for a Shabbat reading. And by that I mean a Torah reading. It's going to be for the collective. I'm just setting you up right now so we can begin. Okay, so I'm feeling called to do a little reading for Shabbat. This week's Torah portion was about it's the story of Lech Lecha. It's about Abraham and Sarah and their transition from Avram and Sarai to Avraham and Sarah. So there is a Hebrew letter added to each of their names at that time, and what that symbolizes is what the story is actually about. It is a story of the addition of this letter as a reflection of their initiation into divine parenthood, as the spiritual mother and father, so to say, of the tree of life, which all of us are a part. So there's a lot of science in it, there's a lot of metaphysical stuff going on behind the scenes in this story of Lech Lecha. And I won't really get too deep into it, but I'll tell you what that means. Lech Lecha, Lech means go, and Lecha means to go into yourself. So together it's go, forward, go into yourself. Ultimately, wherever we go, there's only one self reflected all around us. So wherever we go, we're walking right back to self. There's no other destination. All paths lead to that same place of home where we find our self, where we find the self. Okay, so we begin. Oh, cards, thank you. Thank you, symbols and faces, for revealing yourself in right timing and divine order so that we may see even deeper into our own image, into our self-image, to extract tools to be a better and better version of ourselves in each moment. What do you want to show us in this moment that pertains to this Torah Parsha, that will help us to make connections in the great web here and now, to make it directly applicable to our experience on this earth here now. Okay, I pulled 3 cards. Ooh. There goes the traditional drop. I've got to drop you guys at least once on this little stand here. Interesting. Okay, wow, this is very powerful. We have a king, we have a knight, and we have the devil. So we have the king as where we're at right now, which I believe we just pulled this in one of my recent readings on my YouTube channel. Then we have the future as the devil, major arcana, and then we have the bridge as the knight of swords. So where we're at right now is the heir of fire, the king of wands. We are on our throne of spirit. Okay, we've come a long way on our spiritual path as a collective, and we are now deciding what to do with all this power, where to direct it, where do we go next. Now we've reached the throne, we've reached the level of being king out of the whole suit of wands, which is spirit and fire. Where do we go from here? We have to decide what to do with the skills that we've cultivated to be able to make it to this position of the king, of being the king of wands. So it looks like we're going to get to this card here, the devil. And what I'm feeling is like, while we can use all this power to get to obviously the opposite of this devil, which is nature, harmonious nature, the devil is anything just not in alignment with nature. That's all. It's nothing more. The Antichrist is simply that which is out of alignment with nature. So if we're wanting to get to the opposite of that, which is obviously what we want, that's the ultimate goal. So in becoming the King of Wands and considering that goal of moving toward alignment with nature, we have to consider the opposite of alignment with nature. It's being out of alignment with nature. In order to get to where we want to be, we sometimes have to see the opposite. This is reflected in our creation story and the age-old story of, in order to rise, we fall. When each time we fall, we rise a little higher when we get back up because of our lessons that we experienced on the way down. So if we really want to use our power for the highest good, it only makes sense that we would then, in this earthly realm, attract an experience of matter and physicality that's going to show us the shadow side of it, or the opposite, so that we can, by use of our free will, discover its opposite and more powerful neutralizing manifestation, or thought, which is the root of the manifestation. You following me? So in order to figure out what to do that would be for the highest good of the one, as far as us being in this position of power as the King of Wands, we must see and experience the opposite in order to come to its more powerful conclusion in the light. So what are we going to be shown? What are we going to be presented in our reality that upon consideration, upon reflection, we discover its opposite? All we need to do is really keep in mind what our goal is, and we will see it in all things. There's a lot of noise going on around here right now. It's like super chaotic, very interesting reading happening right now, but the channel is strong nonetheless. Okay, so keeping the goal in mind of that fullest light, and the question of how do we use this to uplift the whole? If we keep this intention at the forefront of our awareness, whatever comes up, whether it's a direct reflection of that or its opposite, we will just see right through its opposite and straight to the truth of the thing. So keep the goal in mind, keep the truth in mind, and you will see through any illusion straight to the truth. So the card that serves as a bridge to get from where we're at right now to where we're going is the Knight of Swords. And this is the fire of air. It's the action upon truth, the action upon a thought or a program. So it looks like we're really going to have to, considering everything we've learned on our spiritual path and the reprogramming we've done and all the truths we're coming to right now, we're going to need to act on those truths with fire, with passion, with creativity. We're going to have to act on them now. It's time to act upon everything that we've learned, everything that's going on in the mental realm. It's time to let it come out and into manifestation. Those words of truth, that expression of truth that we allow out into the world of manifestation, then becomes the building blocks of the opportunities that we are presented to be able to see through this to the truth. Our words of truth become our physical reality for us to play with and explore. So whatever current truth is waiting to be expressed, once we do that, you can bet that what is to follow will be this opportunity and situation. To cut through the BS, to cut through the illusions straight to the truth, to learn what it is we're meant to do with that truth. How do we enhance it? So that's a little bit of a share today. I'm not going to really go in too deep, but it makes really perfect sense for me in alignment with the Torah portion that we're at right now of Lech Lecha. Go forth into yourself. It's the irony and the contradiction. You know, if we're going to search for the highest light, we can look to its opposite for clues as to where it is. Because the shadow is very real and very dense, and it's very tangible even in this seemingly physical reality all around us. So if we seek out that which is not in alignment with nature, devil, if we seek out the Antichrist, we will find the Christ. If we see the shadow, then it must be pointing to some light. Without a light, we can cast no shadows. And this is very much in alignment with the story behind Lech Lecha of we have to fall to rise again. It's not so much a falling to rise. We don't really need to be worried about the fall. The emotions that come with it are really revealing our deeper story, our scientific, creative story, that in order to rise, we have to fall again, not just as humans, but from our very, from the atoms that make us up. Within every atom is contained the story of we have to fall to rise again. And this is reflected in every area of our life with everything that we do. So for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. If you want to find something that's more hidden and occult, look to its opposite. The shadow is the thing that will be right before us, be right under our nose. But the occult is where the light is. The light is hidden inside. This is the age-old story of the light being hidden inside of us. This reflects into every area of our life. If you want to find the light, you have to look below the surface. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate and love you guys so much, and appreciate you following this journey with me in all ways that we do interdimensionally. The ways in which we gather our family and our tribe to share in this awareness together so that we can maximize the effects of this climb in awareness, of this rising in vibration and frequency. When we come together, it's always more powerful. So I appreciate each and every one of you for knowing this and for actualizing it. Many blessings. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Shabbat Shalom.